at Urquhart Lake in the USA. We are here for round 10 of the PlayStation 4 Project Cars League here for Xciteracingleague League. I'm Peter Marcroft. You are all live on twitch.tv. Unless, of course, you're watching this on the YouTube channel, youtube.com/Swishbone. Good evening to all of you. Thank you all very much for tuning in tonight. This is a very late switching channels. We were meant to be on the usual XRL channel 1 and 2, but due to the F1 guys hogging up at Sochi in the Formula 1 2016 Xbox Leagues, we are here instead. And this is one of our blue ribbon events here at Urquhart Lake in Road America. Very unusual circuit in many ways because it's kind of similar to that legendary track Spa-Francorchamps in Belgium. It's set by the same kind of rules. It's low downforce to medium. You got long straights into tight hairpin bends and lots of action to come. Down RC 2010 at the head of the snake in these very surreal looking Indy cars, kind of futuristic, very, very unusual style here in terms of the way that they flow around the circuit. Having driven one of these cars briefly in the practice session as a quick cameo, I was surprised at how much torque they have. They do really find it difficult to get out the slow speed corners, and here at Road America at Urquhart Lake, you've got the likes of turn 3, turn 4, turn 9, where there's lots of very low traction, low speed, 90 degree square left and square right. So it could be real tricky for these guys with lots of long straights as well, lots of ambient curvature. As you can see by following down RC 2010 here, you see the tightness of this bend. He's actually gone straight on there, almost off into the gravel. Such an inviting corner to do that because of the undulations in the braking zone. And you have these brake boards that start from 5 all the way down to 1, rather than the usual 150 metres, 100 metres, and then 50. So it can make it very difficult for you to follow exactly where you're going to be in terms of how you're going to actually get yourselves down into the corner. With Dan RC 2010 leading this train of cars around, and you expect that the guys behind him will want to start trying to get some distance there. Diogo Pinto currently showing up as the second car on the circuit. He'll want to try and back off shortly, otherwise it's going to get that turbulent air. It's going to make it very difficult for him to really get much in the way of a line and be able to get himself up towards the top of the points and maybe onto the podium here. Now, of course, this is one of the blue ribbon events. The next one that's coming up is in 4 weeks' time, when we will be at the Circuit de la Sarthe in Le Mans for a special season-ending 2-hour broadcast in LMP1. So make sure you check that out. But interesting, look at this. Diogo Pinto and Dan RC 2010 battling into the final corner here. Diogo Pinto may fancy using an extra slipstream. Up Dan RC 2010 gets deep under the wing here. We're not racing, there's no points. You don't get anything for this. But these guys are certainly going to give it their all at the moment. Diogo Pinto looking at the back of Dan RC 2010. And he is actually pulling out of the slipstream. Well, who says you're not racing until you get over the line here, going into the first corner? Is Diogo Pinto back out of this? No, he's not. And Dan RC 2010 has spun off as a result of that. So Diogo Pinto may well find himself in some controversy with that, being looked at by the stewards. But oh, he's gone off the track quite horribly there at turn 2 onto the grass. Didn't really affect his traction, surprisingly. With the lack of grip and the amount of torque that these cars have, you'd expect that to spear off into the barriers. But so far, he's been a lucky boy. Heading into turn 3, taking a karting line there, cutting back late on the inside, like it's a wet surface. And Diogo Pinto driving more like a GT driver, despite the open wheel nature, the heavy torque of these V8 engines, and the aerofoiling from the downforce from this Dallara chassis. So you'd expect this driver to be much more traditional here. Diogo Pinto coming into turn 6 now, riding in with this track version of the carousel. Unlike the one in the Nordschleife, this is not banked in any way. It's just a very, very long corner. Sort of like turn 8 at Istanbul Park and turn 4 at the Circuit de Catalunya in Barcelona, Spain. Although this one's a lot longer and a lot trickier, kind of like a horseshoe going through the kink. No real worries there for aerodynamics. Riding on board, heading down towards turn 10. This very late, very narrow corner. It starts wide. You think you can easily take a wider line there, but then right on the outside, that rubber strip ends and you're in the gravel. It's very easy to find yourself caught out. Coming up to the final corner, Diogo Pinto. Question whether this lap time is going to actually count, considering the mistake that's happened there. Going into the start-finish straight line, really great opportunity to pull himself up to set the early benchmark pace here in the IndyCar circuit. 1:44.7 from him. Moving further back, Apparently I'm out there when I'm not. Harry Mansell's coming on the start finish line, 1:45.2 from him. Now Skarky Puppy, he's got it all to prove because he had a very poor run last week in Dubai when he was initially on for a podium and ended up crawling home in 6th position. He's got a lot to do if he's going to have any chance to get himself back into the title hunt, which Ace Killer 15 is currently leading. Heading towards the start finish line, Skarky Puppy in the Dallara Dago chassis, 1:46.3 from him. Down at C10 only managed to 1:57.5 thanks to that off at the first corner. Jamie F430 has only just started his lap, and then Glenn Owls, one of the new drivers here this week, driving in a very funky, almost Caparo T1 kind of livery. For those of you who saw that episode of Top Gear, you'll see that beautiful purple thing. Reminds me of the MTV sponsored Brabham from the 1995 series. Absolutely superb. It's a Simtek, sorry, not the Brabham. It's a Simtek, that kind of design. Absolutely beautiful car. Make sure you check out on YouTube if you got the opportunity. Into turn 10, taking a very wide entry there. Glenn Owls manages to just about catch that snaking left and right during the corner there. Really finding it difficult at traction out of these open wheel tyres. Oh, and he's spun off. Really lost it. Oh, maybe he hasn't. That might be a lag there because now he's back on the track. Ooh. What's we need here is a bit of the old glag, making it very difficult for us to know exactly where everybody is. Glenn Owls coming for the line anyway. No time from him. Ace Killer 15 riding on board with the championship leader at the moment. A very nice grey and white livery there, kind of similar to the Braun GP from 2009. Really nice plain livery, pleasing on the eye. Coming into that final turn, getting missed the apex on the inside there. Ace Killer 15 not quite got the confidence in these open wheel cars. This car, much different animal to the GTs that are normally used to ragging around the circuits of the world, but a 2-minute 3. Wow, that is slow. That is off the pace by a very long way. Meanwhile, Fraser Pants just coming into the end of the first sector, currently showing about 2 seconds down. So he's also what driver who's really got it all to prove. Glenn Owls in the meantime, oh, this is actually looking pretty promising with a 39.2, which has got him faster than Skarky Puppy. So this could be a good lap time here that might get him up in the middle of the pack. Let's ride on board here, heading into this beautifully tight hairpin underneath the bridge, on the way down to the carousel, getting a nice run on the inside there, making sure it's not being deceived. There's no inside rumble strips there, so you don't have much in the way of a reference point if you're turning in too soon. Bit wide there, right on the outside rumble strip. That'll cost him a couple of tenths possibly, as he struggled to get the traction. Going through the kink, no problem there at all. And I think he might have Diogo Pinto up ahead of him, trying to warm up for another lap, so he's got to make sure he doesn't get that turbulent air that will affect his turn. Beautiful apex there, beautifully taken. Going to the outside, kissing the tires as much as possible through this nice little kink on the way to the final bend. Oh, snaking left and right, snapping back. He's managed to catch it and then catch it again. I don't know how much of this is lag and how much of this is talent, but Glenn Owls doing a decent job so far, going for the start-finish line. And no lap time, he's suddenly disappeared. Football 67601 set good pace in the practice session, so let's ride on board with him. He's one who's got a lot to prove here. Did a good job last week out in the Dubai race. He's got to be able to pull himself back together, drag himself up onto that podium if he can. Keep those strong performances coming. Football 67601 heading for the final turn. Getting a decent run. It's very old-fashioned livery, kind of similar to one that Nigel Mansell rocks in the 1995 IndyCar season when he got pole position at the Indy 500 before being taken out by a safety car. Riding on board goes to the start-finish line at 1:46.3 from him. Decent performance. Cobra 75, meanwhile, coming through to turn 3. I don't know if this is a time lap. Let's ride on board here. Nice to the 40.2, so far going into the carousel. Let's ride on board with this kind of Jordan-esque livery. Really nice, beautiful mix of the yellow and the black, similar to Renault, only a lot more black than yellow this time. Here at Urquhart Lake, Road America, live on Twitch.tv. I'm Pete Larkoff for Xciteracing League's PlayStation 4 GT3 season. Well, tonight it's our Blue Ribbon event where we are racing in IndyCar. For those of you watching out there on the stream at the moment, the chat box is open, so you can get your comments in there and we'll do all we can to bring you coverage and interact with you where possible. So Cobra 75 heading for the start-finish line, going around this final corner, taking a little wide there, missed the apex, didn't really get the power, a bit snaking left and right just as he goes towards the pit entrance. Let's go on board, heading for the start-finish line. Is it going to be a decent time? A 1:47.8. It's an improvement in time, but no real improvement in actual position on the grid. He'll be disappointed by that. Jamie F430, meanwhile, he's got a lot to prove here. He's not set a time as yet. Well, let's see what he gets here. Going over the start-finish line. Is it a good performance from him? No time. That's interesting. So he's not actually set a lap time at the moment. Getting on board with... Let's ride up, find someone else who's out on the lap. But Sky Gibbons come back through again for a 46-1. Ace Kill 15 on a 46-0. Good ride from him. Glenn Al's a 45-1. So he's found pace from somewhere to get himself up near the top of the field. Not on the lap at the moment, but Diogo Pinto is. So let's ride on board him. He's on a 44-7. Gone wide of the carousel though. Almost off onto the gravel there. Managed to catch it, and not quite sure how he did that, but great performance. Heading into the kick down towards the 10th corner here. No real corner names at this circuit, unfortunately. It's a bit disappointing. But here at Urquhart Light in Road America, a track which has got lots of long straights into high braking zones, so we could see some great drafting and overtaking moves. We saw Diogo Pinto trying to go side by side at the start of this coverage, but ended up actually tapping on the circuit. So you've got to be careful that you don't find yourself getting a penalty for causing an avoidable collision. So Diogo Pinto goes up the final corner, gets the power down nice and beautifully here. Let's ride on board as he heads towards start-finish line. Can he find any improvement in his time? He can, but he's not improved his position. That's interesting. Ace Kill 15 miles with a 44-2 to really respond. Javi Mansell, can he go any better? No, he's on a 44-1, but a 43-8 from Dan RC 2010. He's pulled that out of absolutely nowhere to get himself into a shock provisional pole position. But it's early in the lap times yet. It's early days. Ace Kill 15 on a 39-1 for Sector 1, so let's ride on board with him. Heading down towards the end of Sector 2, getting a decent toe. Not sure off because he's not following anything. They're getting a decent line through this corner. Heading into the final sector of the course now. Riding a bit too wide there. Almost onto the outside concrete rumbles, but he's kept that going beautifully. Manages to find that extra little bit of traction into the final corner. Is he going to find a way through here? Ooh, going wide again, and that's off the circuit. I don't think that's going to improve his lap time. I get the feeling Ace Killer is not likely to make any improvement here. But let's stay on board till we get to the end of the lap. Is it an improvement? Shock of all shocks it is. He's managed to get himself a 44-168 to get himself ahead of Javi Mansell by just 3/100ths of a second. Well, Javi Mansell looks like he's going to respond here. We've got 3.5 minutes to go before we have a quick 5-minute warm-up session, and then after that it's 1 hour of racing here at Urquhart Lake Road America, Xciteracingleague League, live and exclusive on twitch.tv, unless of course you're watching the YouTube recast, in which case, if you are, hit like and subscribe, get your comments in there, and we'll do all we can to interact with you on the future videos. Get a decent line, bit of a four-wheel drift at the start of that corner there from Javi Mansell. He's really applying all the power he can to get himself up there, get that extra performance into the final corner. A little bit twitchy left and right, a bit wobbly on him. He's not really liking that circuit at all. Getting up on the outside, a sternal shot here from Javi Mansell. Is it any improvement? Can he beat Ace Killer 15? No, he can't. He's not improved. Meanwhile, looking on board with Dan RC 2010, he's not setting a time. However, Ace Killer is, and he looks like he's going even faster. But he's got a bit too wide there. Kissed the outside rumble strip. That's took the car into the air, and that might possibly end his challenge. But it's early days yet. Let's ride on board. Flat out there, you can hear the engine really revving its notes. He's really going all out assault on this one. Going to the outside AstroTurf, managing to just avoid going off the circuit there and losing junk on the tyres and losing grip. Into the final corner, can he get a better apex here? Yes, he can. Rides that inside curb absolutely beautifully. This is an opportunity now for Ace Killer 15 to possibly threaten provisional P-pole. Can he get himself at the top of the order? Yes, he can, a 43-4. What a response from Ace Killer 15 there. And Dan RC 2010 is a couple of tenths off in Sector 1, but it's still early doors. It's too early to be writing him off at this time. Dan RC 2010 going through the end of the Sector 2, getting onto the outside. Bit deceptive grip there. Didn't really like he found any power. Yet, he's really attacking this outside curve into the final corner. Can he get a decent apex? Just about missed that. I might just get away with it. But he lost a bit of optimal grip here. Heading towards the start-finish line now. Provisional P-pole is a 43-4. Can he improve? Yes, he can, but only by 2/1000ths of a second. He's not done enough. Meanwhile, Diogo Pinto, he looks like he's on a hot one here. He could be a threat to come out from nowhere at the end of this race. We've got 1 minute, 20 seconds to go. So those drivers who are not on a quiet lap will no longer qualify. Diogo Pinto has an opportunity, though, to get himself right near the top of the order. Can he make it work? Getting into the outside curve, hits that absolutely beautifully now. There's a great opportunity going to the outside. This is a chance now for him to be able to break away. Oh, a bit too wide there. That might have compromised him a little bit, but into the final corner, he's hit that curb absolutely beautifully. But the outside curve seems to suck him off the track a little bit, and I don't know if this is going to be enough. Is he going to jump onto pole here? A 44.2 is not enough. Now, Javi Mansell has just gone through. He's not going to be able to improve. Football 67641 is in the pits. Skanky Puppy, meanwhile, I'm not even sure if he's actually on a lap at the moment, so I think that may well be that. Well, let's ride on board with Skanky. He's got 23 seconds. He'll just about make it to the start-finish line here. It's a question of whether he's going to get any actual performance. Beautiful outside movement there. Superb riding of the inside curbs. Heading for the start-finish line. He's riding on board with Skarky Puppy. Is he going to find an improvement? 4 seconds to go. He has improved to 6th position in the dying seconds. So that's got him right at the top. But, well, what a performance from Ace 15 to take pole position. Away from Dan RC 2010 then. Javi Mansell. You got Diogo Pinto in 4th. Glenel's the debutant in 5th. Skarky Puppy in 6th. Football 67601 in 7th. And then Jamie in 8th. And Cobra down in 9th. Fraser Pants completing the top 10, and then there's me in the garage where I belong. So we've got a very short practice session here. Now the question is, are any drivers going to get out there and get any kind of recon, or are we going to see the drivers going? I think Javi Mansell might well be having a look here, so we'll ride on board with him. 5 minutes of this, and there's a chance that the grip may have changed. The time of the day will move forward. It might be that it's lower and you just see the message from Jamie F430 there telling everybody to remember that there is a formation lap. So there's going to be 1 lap riding round where all the drivers keep in position, get themselves warmed up, make sure the tires are ready, make sure that they've got that 1 shot, and then it's rolling start and go for 1 hour of racing here at Urquhart Lake Road America, live and exclusive on twitch.tv. I'm Pete Markroff for Xciteracingleague Racing League, unless of course you're watching on the YouTube recast, in which case drop a like and subscribe, and any comments you've got to make regarding the footage that you are seeing tonight or today or whatever day of the week it is that you're watching. So right on, we have him also then currently going down the second of the long straight here, and you see the undulating curves there during the middle of that straight. That will unsight you when you're trying to find your way on the grip. You've got to really get your position perfectly there to get that performance in there, and the drivers, when they're going side by side, is that a potential overtaking position. You might see some serious concerned mistakes here, as these drivers will be pushing themselves to the absolute limit. Oh, Javi Mansell snaking right then left. I'm not sure if that was lag or if that was general lack of grip going into the carousel. Once again, a bit shaky there, almost like a 4-wheel drift. It's going to be tricky to follow the action here, but we've got the drivers kind of not really giving us an idea of where they're at. A quick thumbs up message from Cobra75 there, acknowledging the warning from Jamie F430. If you are watching this on PlayStation Network, well, I'll try and get your messages read out if they do appear at the top of the order. It's a question of how easy they are to spot. So Harry Mansell coming out of the final corner onto the start-finish straight. The Lucas Oil IndyCar going down this very fast, very aggressive, high-speed, undulating course down towards turn 1. Is he going to find himself into any position here to get a decent lap time? He's set at 2:05 for an out lap. Not bad considering you're leaving the pits and you're going at a limited speed of 60 miles an hour. Now he's got the taps unleashed. Now he's be able to just go all out assault here. Into turn 2. Oh, once again, going off the circuit, snaking left and right. I get the feeling that's very much lag rather than a driver who's pushing his car to the absolute limit. And this is oh, what the hell's just happened there? Well, viewers, answer on a postcard here because I don't know what's going on. I think that was Dan RC 2010 who got shunted. Javi Mansell went through him, then back behind him, then through him, then back behind him, then through him, and then miles up the circuit. Well, if that carries on for an hour, we're going to have some fun here tonight, viewers. I can tell you that much for absolutely free. Yeah, Hammy Mansell's car is lagging really badly now because he's suddenly snaking left and right. I mean, well, has anyone got the Benny Hill thing? Because we might need it for this at this rate. Yeah, it's impossible to follow Hammy Mansell at the moment. Jamie F430, meanwhile, that's rather bored with him. He's one of the coordinators of this league. If you're interested in signing up for league racing here on PlayStation Network, Jamie and I are your men. Get your comments in there and we'll do all we can to get you in the leagues. We've got a few more races left in this season. Next week we are at Sakito, aka Suzuka in Japan. Then the race after that is 2 weeks later, one day before Halloween, the 30th of October, we will be live and exclusive at the Nordschleife. That will be one hell of a challenge for these drivers because of the length of the circuit and the undulation nature. Week after that, we have Brands Hatch GP for a special GT round. And then finally, right at the end of November, we are going to be live at the Circuit de la Sarthe for the 2-hour special splendid live edition of this division. You can catch us there. Unbelievable action coming up for you. Jamie F430 breaking the beams on a 1:48.3. Good performance. Hammy Mansell didn't get a better lap time. Football 67611, meanwhile, he'll be disappointed in the way he qualified because in the initial 3 practice sessions, he looked like a potential dark horse for the outside and he won't be happy with that either. Look how wide he's gone there at the carousel. He can afford to do that here in the practice session, of course, because this is the last chance to find out if there is anything wrong with the circuit, if there's anything extra grip, any width that you can take. But after that, any mistakes like that, you're going to find yourself in some serious trouble. So that is pretty much that. We only had lap times from 3 people. We had Jamie F430, Harry Mansell, and Football 67601. Doesn't really tell us anything because, of course, none of those lap times count. It's not qualifying. It's pure warm-up performance. This is where it all kicks off, though. We are going to be live and exclusive here on Twitch.tv. I'm Pete Markov, bringing you coverage live and uninterrupted. Unless, of course, you're again watching on the YouTube replay. So we'll get ourselves ready to dive into the pits. There is going to be a very, very long warm-up lap here at Urquhart Lake, and after that we will be live. So I've got the drivers, got to make sure that they all keep in position at the moment. Ace Killer 15 leads away at the front. Behind you got Dan RC 2010. Then you got Hammy Mansell, 4th place. You got Diogo Pinto. Watch out for him making some moves. Glenn Howells snaking left and right with some serious lag issues. Then we've got Skarky Poppy in 6th place. He's got it all to prove after that race in Dubai. He needs to get scrum points. Football 67611 after that is 7th place. Then we've got Jamie F430 down in 8th despite that warm-up. Then in 9th place you've got Fraser Pants. Great job last week in the BMW M3 at Dubai to come home in 4th position. However, at the same time he's got it all to do here in IndyCar. And at the back of the order we have Cobra 75 before there's me in the pits. Let's not follow that action. So moving further forward, then Diogo Pinto is going to be a bit disappointed to be down in 4th place. He showed great performance last week. Let's not forget as well that all these drivers are going to have to stop at least once in this race. It's a question of who can make their tyres last, who can make their fuel, because it's a totally different discipline. When you're in GT, you're used to taking the wider line, you're used to trying to save your tyres, you're used to like cooling off. But here, open wheel, turbulent air, curves, more power, more torque. It could be a real challenge for the drivers, and it might be the first race we've had in a while where someone may have to stop more than once. It's all a question as what happens. And at the moment, at the top of the snake, you've got Ace Color 15 leading these drives on, and he's actually going quite quickly. He's not making this a slow out formation lap by any means. And he's got to be careful here, because if he goes too far ahead and bolts before there already, he could find himself in trouble for not taking the restart. And you can see he's starting to back up the field now. Ace Color 15 from the 2nd place Dan RC 2010. Then we've got Harry Mansell, Diogo Pinto, Glenn Howells, Skanky Robbie, Football 67601, Jamie F430, Cobra 75 and Fraser Pants at the back of the order. So we've seen that Diogo Pinto can be a case of the last of the late breakers and the last of the chargers. Going to go to the outside box here because of the camera issues on the pit lane. And once they go around this corner, that's it. We are going to be racing here. So let's get on board. And look at this already. Great action. Harry Mansell lighting up the tyres on the back of LRC 2010. Gets into the slipstream behind him. Meanwhile, he's going to go straight for the start finish line. There we go. Lights out. Away we go. We are live with this on Twitch.tv. Can't wait. Road America. And Diogo Pinto looks on the inside of Harry Mansell into turn 1. Gets away with that. Doesn't fall into any kind of position. Glenn Howes in 5th place trying to catch up. Harry Mansell in 3rd place looking at the back of LRC 2010. It was allowed Ace Kill 15 to break away slightly but not too far. Ace Kill 15 wants to try and get away from these guys as quick as possible, just like Nico Rosberg is capable of doing from pole position in the Formula 1 divisions. But great opportunity in after these drivers. LRC 2010 showed great performance in the qualifying and the practice sessions. He wanted to convert that into a very solid podium if not a race victory. Harry Mansell looking on the inside, snaky left and right. LRC 2010 goes very deep to avoid being collected by the Dallara IndyCar, and that's allowed Diogo Pinto to go. Oh, big wide move there for LRC 2010. Went wide after going under the bridge there, and that's forced Harry Mansell into a mistake. And Diogo Pinto now is all over his chuff in the gearbox, heading down towards the carousel. He's going to fancy a late lunge here. Now he's a bit too far back. Decides to wait for this moment of opportunity. But Diogo Pinto now dragging along with him Glenn Howes. These guys are very close into the carousel, and already you can see Ace Kill 15 starting to break away. Diogo Pinto trying to catch up to Harry Mansell, LRC 2010, and then Ace Kill 15's got about 1.5 seconds at the moment as the car starts to get the power down, the traction starts to form. Harry Mansell snaking left and right, not really sure if he did give pace here, but look at this. Glenn Howes sizing up Diogo Pinto, heading into this tight, oh well, mistake there, he's hit the wall and come back on the circuit. Look at the terrible lag there. This is unbelievable. Glenn Howes has really caused problems as Diogo Pinto looks in his mirrors, wondering if he's there or not into the final corner. We might see some curves deployed here and some drafting down towards turn 1. Great opportunity here as Diogo Pinto pulls left defensive back to the middle of the circuit. Can't move too many times or you might find yourself under the steward's warning here. And Glenn Howes pulls into the inside, wants the outside. Diogo Pinto takes the inside, coming into the first corner. Could this be done here? Go side by side through turn 1. And Diogo Pinto's just pushed Glenn Howes off the circuit. Glenn Howes will feel aggrieved by that. Diogo Pinto did not give him any room at all. But at the same time, with the potential lag issues that Glenn Howes has got, was that actually intentional by Diogo Pinto, or was it purely a consequence of being where he was? But check this out. LRC 2010 has come to the back of Ace Kill 15, and commentator's curse. He's gone off at turn 3, and that's going to allow Harry Mansell to sive on through and say, thank you very much, I'm having that. But Diogo Pinto and LRC 2010 won't let him get away for long, as LRC 2010 falls into the 3rd place after he starts to close the gap on Ace Kill 15. Just ran out of talent, just ran out of road, and that put him off the circuit down to 3rd place. Ace Kill 15's got a nice buffer now ahead of Harry Mansell, heading into the carousel, going around the outside. You can see Diogo Pinto really trying to attack this. Same with LRC 2010. Behind them, meanwhile, look at this. You've got Skarky Puppy in 6th place, being chased all madly by... He's chasing Glenn Howes, so Skarky Puppy down in 6th place, but he fancies an opportunity here as Glenn Howes once again lags off the circuit, and this is very difficult for the drivers to follow because you don't know if you're going to pass him when you make the move. You can see Skarky has gone through there. Has he actually got past? That's the key question. Looks like a motor's been completed there, so Skarky will be breaks away. Meanwhile, look at LRC 2010 now, getting under the slipstream of Harry Mansell, heading out towards turn 1. Probably deployed a bit of curse there. Down, gets into the inside. This is going to be an opportunity to force him wide. Diogo Pinto did this earlier on Glenn Howes. Gets on the inside there. And LRC 2010 goes, thank you for giving me that back. Harry Mansell now looking to try and attack into the 2nd curve as LRC 2010 will be looking to get back on Ace Kill 15, who's got about 4 seconds on these guys. Ace Kill 15 now can control the pace, be able to get himself out of the front of the field, but Harry Mansell loving this long straight, great opportunity to get a toe down towards this tight hairpin, and we've seen LRC 2010 not confident on the brakes here. He went off on the previous lap, let's not forget. Harry Mansell feeling a bit more confident, a bit more planted in the car, gets deep under the wing here of LRC 2010 and goes wide under the bridge there, and that's allowing Harry Mansell to catch him ever more. Heading down towards the carousel. Great opportunity here for Harry Mansell. Moving further back through the field, Jamie F430 on his own. Same for Cobra and Fraser Pants. We've got Glenn Owls, it's hard to know where he is. Diogo Pinto, and then Javi Mansell going through the carousel. These drivers all opening the gap at this point because they have to make sure they've got the grip to make it round the corner without finding themselves going off into the gravel. Xciteracingleague very much enjoying this extra lead that he has at the moment over Dan RC 2010. There's not a big gap between them, but it's there. And that's allowing the opportunity for him to pull away. And actually, Xciteracingleague set a much better lap last time, 0.6 of a second clear. Interestingly, Diogo Pinto has now got himself under the wing of Javi Mansell, so Javi Mansell under pressure here as Diogo Pinto wants to try and convert a decent qualifying into a podium, and Javi Mansell hugging in the middle of the lane just like XRL LGS used to do, heading towards turn 1. Great opportunity there for Diogo Pinto, just not got the pace there. Oh, Dan RC 2010, he slid off the circuit, and that's now allowed Javi Mansell. Dan RC 2010's going off at the inside. Both Diogo Pinto and Javi Mansell take advantage there. Dan RC 2010 down to 4th. Diogo Pinto now getting into the slipstream of Javi Mansell behind him. Dan RC 2010 is not too far adrift. Dan RC 2010 it seems has got the pace over one lap but can't string it together in one consistent run, and that's causing it to make these very costly mistakes that are putting him behind the likes of Diogo Pinto and Javi Mansell. And Diogo Pinto in third place now, looking at the back of Javi Mansell. He's running in P2, trying to catch up to the back of Xciteracingleague, who's had it all his own way after having that excellent qualifying that got him on pole position. All of a sudden he's the man in charge, and this is a great opportunity now for Diogo Pinto, heading into the carousel, getting a decent run up the inside, going on tight as line as much as he can here. Real opportunity to put the power down and begin to attack, but Dan RC 2010 is not letting him get away from him actually. Dan RC 2010 has closed the gap up through that second sector, and that's got him closer to Diogo Pinto, so this might be an opportunity heading through the next lap here. Gets into the inside corner, does a decent line. Real opportunity now for Diogo Pinto and Dan RC 2010 to close the gap on Javi Mansell. Dan RC 2010 down to 7th place now. That's Jamie F430 we were just following there. Skanky Puppy in 4th position. Then Diogo Pinto. So a bit of a mistake from somewhere there in the middle for Football 67611 now. It's actually got Cobra 75 just ahead of him. Battle on the back of the points, so he may as well ride on board. It's been a while since we've seen action this far down the field. Real opportunity. Meanwhile, John Digweed's got on the stream saying, "Hey, Swiss Racer Racing, is there room left in the league? I'd like to get involved." Mr. Digweed, yes there is. As long as you're on PlayStation 4, you're more than welcome to join. I am on the network as that's a Swishbone. Of course, you can also talk to Jamie F430. He's one of the guys out there at the moment who is actually bringing the action and helping coordinate the league. So if you want to get involved, we also have a community. It's Mussy is also on there. He said he joined, not joined us yet. And we do have space, I believe, to the end of the season. So if you fancy a race next week at the Sakito track in Suzuka, get on board. Meanwhile, Football 67601 has really caught to the back of Cobra heading for the carousel. Real opportunity now heading for the inside, getting into the slipstream as much as possible. Cobra under real pressure here as Football 67601 gets a decent exit from the carousel down towards this very fast flowing section down towards Sector 3, gets into the slipstream as much as he can through the king. Real opportunity to get on the brakes and take the advantage into this next corner. Is he close enough? No, Football 67601 thinks better of it for now, but goes to the outside and gets a much better traction off the corner. This is a real opportunity for Football 67601 to get himself back into contention, getting on the external cameras here, heading into the final corner. And we've got a 3-car scrap now because ahead of them, Jamie F430 has been brought into this. Football 67601 gets deep into the slipstream, gets on the power. Real opportunity opportunity. Pulls to the inside towards the pit wall. Got to be careful he doesn't get forced into it here. We saw this with Schumacher and Rubens Barrichello back in 2010 at Hungaroring. Into the first corner. JBF 430 tentative on the brakes. That's brought Cobra 75 right underneath his wing here. JBF 430 in serious danger. Heading into the sector turn. Cobra 75 getting a decent run there. Football 676-1 following in the wake. They're going to be side by side down towards turn 2. And JBF 430 really thinks about cutting across him there, but he can't afford to tap him out. They're side by side action all the way down here in battle for 5th and 6th position. Cobra 75 goes ahead but goes off the circuit, and that's going to allow Football 676-1 to get a slide look under the Shout Corvette bridge into the next corner. Football 676-1, beautiful driving to take that position away. Cobra 75 loses 2 positions in 2 corners. Cobra 75 looking up the middle of these guys, trying to get as close as he can into the carousel. Moving further up the order, we've got Skokie Puppy in 3rd place now, Hammy Mansell in 2nd, and an Ace Killer 15 way out on his own. Glenn Al's in 4th place, Jamie F 430 5th, Football 676-1 in 6th place. And then we've got Cobra in 7th, Diogo Pinto running down in 8th. He must have been in for his pit stop. Dan RC 2010 also down in 9th, and then Fraser Pants totally on his own at the back of the field. So Football 676-1 riding on board with him as he looks at the back of Jamie F 430. This is the closest battle on the circuit for now, so he may as well ride on board. Real opportunity for an attempt to be able to get through here. As Football 676-1 gets a better run through the final corner. So Jamie F 430 in real trouble here now. As Football 676-1 gets on the slipstream, gets on the curves, looking to attack as much as possible deep into the toe, losing it, dumping as much of the drag as possible. But the power of that engine from Jamie F 430 might just hold him instead here. Football 676-1 thinks about cutting underneath as Jamie F 430 goes cutting the grass there, really gets it wrong. Heading into turn 2, real opportunity now for Football 676-1 to get on the back of Jamie F 430, getting on the outside cameras, and you can see that behind him, Cobra 75 has got as close as he can. Gets into the slipstream, heading down towards turn 3. This is the best opportunity he's had so far this race. Thinks about pulling out the inside, and Cobra 75 thinks about following it through. As JBF 430 goes a bit too wide, goes into the inside curve there, and that's allowed Cobra 75 to get a decent look at the back of Football, but he's lost traction going onto the outside AstroTurf there, and that has put him back in P7. These 3 cars covered by barely 1 second. So beyond Football 676-1 going through the carousel, looking to attack as much as possible on the back of Jamie F 430, who started to pull away a little bit through that that part of the track. Evidently he likes these high downforce, high performance sections of the circuit. But Jamie F 430 is struggling when it's going through the middle part. Real opportunity here going into the inside corner. An attempt to attack this as much as possible. Heading into the final corner, Football 676-1 looking to attack as much as he can. Gets into the final corner. Jamie F 430 has made a real hash of that. Gone far too slow through there. And that's going to allow Football 676-1 to close the gap as much as possible. John Digweed saying he's just got a foot PS4. Count him in and the ladders on PS1. You know where to find me. Come and find me now. So meanwhile, Football 676-1 gets onto the slipstream as much as possible. Heading into the final corner, can he make this stick? Oh, he's a little bit too wide there. Runs onto the outside curves. Real opportunity to be able to attack here. Down into the second corner as Cobra 75 looks at the back as much as possible. Gets deep into the slipstream. Cobra 75 riding on board with him. Heading out towards turn 3. Real opportunity for Football 676-1. And also Cobra 75 to get close to Jamie. Moving further up the field though, check this out. We've got a battle between Skokie Puppy and Glenn Al's 81 heading out of turn 4 down into the middle sector towards the carousel. So let's ride on board with this beautiful MTVS livery of the Simtek from 1995. God, that brings back memories. I feel so old. Heading into carousel curve here. Great opportunity for Glenn Al's to get as close as possible. Heading through the inside curves, inside apexes absolutely beautifully. Whereas Skokie Puppy seems to go a bit too wide, almost to the outside AstroTurf, and just about gets away with that. So you can see that Glenn Howell's going through that penultimate series of corners, trying to get as close as he can to the back of Skaggy Bubby. He's got a bit too wide at that penultimate turn there into the final corner. Skaggy Bubby going a bit too deep there. That might allow Glenn Howell to get into the slipstream. Both drivers snaking left and right, trying to break the toe as much as possible. These drivers making each other an inch here. Oh, well, what's this for Glenn Howell's? Bang, bang. That's got to be some lag there. Into the first corner, Glenn Howell's. Well, I can't watch this move too much longer. It's unwatchable. Meanwhile, looking at the back here, it's football 676-1. Sizes up the back of Jamie F430. Heading towards turn 1. Gets on the brakes, but Jamie is doing a great job here. Masterful defensive driving. And you can see that Cobra 75 now has joined the party. These three drivers all covered. It's very similar in many ways to that legendary battle at the Mokpok circuit in South Korea, when you had Nico Hulkenberg versus Lewis Hamilton versus Fernando Alonso in the 2013 season. Real opportunity now as Cobra 75 gets deep in the slipstream. Thinks about taking a lunge up the inside of football 676-1, but he's gone a bit too deep there. It's almost thrown him off the circuit. And now football 676-1 looks at the back of Jamie F430. But once again, Jamie just finding enough to keep these guys honest. Also, a quick heads up for you, John Digweed. If you actually have just got your PlayStation Network, if you've got PlayStation Plus, this month's free game for download is the Resident Evil Remaster. Download it and play it, because it's fantastic. It's not a racing game, but it's awesome. Well, speaking of fantastic, football 676-1 almost did a move on the inside of the carousel there. Real great driving as these three drivers are all completely close to each other. And now Cobra 75 fancies a move on the inside of football 676-1. And I think he's going to make this stick here. Jamie F430, meanwhile, almost being psyched out going wide. But football 676-1 goes past the pair of them by the looks of it, as Jamie F430 makes a mistake. But Cobra 75 really making amends for that earlier error, and now goes into 5th place. Behind him, football 676-1 though gets on the power, gets on the attack. 41 minutes left of racing here at Urquhart Lake Road, America. Real opportunity for these drivers to put on a demonstration. Heading out towards turn 1. Football 676-1 getting as close as possible, trying to attack the back of that moving car from Cobra. But Cobra's made a mistake. Clattered the inside curve, and all that hard work has come undone. And now Jamie F430 will have much better momentum coming into turn 2. So all of a sudden Cobra 75 is the one under pressure as Jamie F430 gets deep in the toe. This should be like taking candy for a baby here. But meanwhile, look at this Cobra trying to fight back using the IndyCar's curves side by side down towards turn 3. Both drivers trying to force the high ground. Jamie trying to take the inside line, force him wide, and that is pretty much that. Gets a decent line there. Cobra might try and fight back though, coming out on the bridge down towards the carousel as Jamie F430 goes a bit too wide there, and that's allowing Cobra an extra bit of momentum. These drivers are doing a brilliant performance so far. They're making mistakes, they're nipping and tucking, which is all doing absolutely beautifully. Heading towards turn 5, great opportunity now for Cobra 75, just not close enough. Moving further up the field, meanwhile, you've still got Glenn Howell and then Skaggy Bubby. Harry Mansell is 2nd place, and then all the way at the front is Ace Killer 15 under no real threat at the moment. So getting back to this battle as once again Jamie F430 goes off at the carousel, and now allows Cobra 75 to sneak back through. These drivers just seem to want to keep one-upping each other in terms of who can do the most overtakes. John Digweed saying, thanks for the tip, that's what I'm here for. So make sure you check that out if you can. If you are getting games like those old-fashioned survival horror games, I highly recommend the remake of Resident Evil. Especially considering it actually retailed for $15.99 last year, would you believe? You had to pay £16 for the privilege of playing that. Now, it costs you nothing if you're on PlayStation Plus. Glenn Howell's trying to catch up to Skunky Puppy. This is probably the closest battle we've got on circuit at the moment, as the field has unfortunately spread out a little bit. Bring a rundown of the fastest lap times. A 1:43.9 from Ace Killer 15, showing his muscle at the top of the order. A 45.2 from Harry Mansell, and a 46.9 for Skunky Puppy. A 46.4 from Glenn Howell's responding. A 47.7 from Football. Then we got Cobra on a 47.3. Dan RC 2010 on a 44.5. He's starting to find his rhythm. Then you got Diogo Pinto on a 46.0. not been able to convert that qualifying pace into race pace. Then we've got a 47.7 from Jamie F430, and then Fraser Pants on a 47.1. So the lap times here are actually quite consistent. These lap times are all closer than most of the circuits. Oh, as Dan RC20 goes a bit too deep there at turn 3, and that's allowing Diogo Pinto to start catching him up. So we're right on board with this one for a little while. Give these guys an opportunity to be able to get themselves forward and make that moves back towards the podiums. I get the feeling these guys have already stopped, because don't forget, these guys all have to box at some point. Cobra 75 get a decent run in the final corner. There we go, football 606-1. But look at this, Glenn Al's getting closer to the back now of Skanky Puppy. Skanky Puppy potentially under pressure here for that third position as Glenn Al starts to find his pace and find his performance. Going into turn 2, great opportunity here. Oh, but once again, Glenn Al snaking left and right off the circuit. I don't know if that was a genuine error or if that was lag, because judging by his pace, it doesn't seem to have lost too much in the way of distance here, so it's difficult to know. Javi Mansell, meanwhile, still very much in solid second place. And at the top of the order, Xciteracingleague 15 has got this all under control for now. But we've seen stranger things happen. Sometimes the truth is stranger than fiction, so it's hard to know exactly who's going to finish where. With just over half race distance to go in this race here at Urquhart Lake Road America, live and exclusive on twitch.tv. I'm Pete Markov for Xcite Racing League. If you're watching this on the YouTube recast, please hit a like and subscribe and get your comments in there where we can to get some further things. And also you can do what John Digweed has done, get out there and get your comments in the box and be able to get some interactivity. So Skanky Boy, we get a decent run on the inside as Glenn Al's 81 trying to close that gap, but again, too many mistakes, too many stakings off the circuit is costing him critical time. Coming in towards the penultimate corner, you can see Glenn Al's getting a decent run out that bend into the final corner, gets a decent run on the inside line, kisses the inside curve beautifully. But you can see ahead of him at the moment, Skanky Puppy just got enough pace in his hand at the moment to hang on. The key question is whether these pit stops are going to change the order, because I think we've just seen someone go into the pits there. I don't know who that was. Well, whoever it was, they're not in the points paying positions at the front. So getting on board then with Glenn Al's once again, trying to catch up to Skanky Puppy. Skanky Puppy is a driver who last week was on for a really solid performance. He was leading by a long way in Dubai, and then made the costly error in the pits and ended up coming all the way down in 6th position. A real shock result that for Skanky Puppy. So a podium this week is what he needs, but Xciteracingleague 15, he's suddenly found this rhythm. It'll be the second week in a row that he wins if he gets himself at the top of the order, and that's going to make his title grip all that more secure. Skanky Puppy, meanwhile, last season's champion, really finding it difficult to hold on to his crown. Into the inside curve at the carousel. Got Glenn Al's 81 doing a great opportunity, headed towards this middle sector, getting towards the end of the beams here, but he's just not closing the gap on Skanky Puppy. He was about half a second quicker for his sector 1, but the Skanky Puppy was only a tenth slow, as he's made up half a second, but he's still not quite close enough to get into that slipstream and get the overspeed he needs to be able to effect a pass. Cobra 75 was pulled away from Dan RC 2010, and Diogo Pinto was falling behind him quite a lot too. Fraser Pants and then right at the back of the order, Jamie F430. So the field, once again, getting into that point. As Skanky Puppy dives into the box, this changes the game here. So Skanky Puppy has gone in now. So he's in the pits. Now we've got football 676-1 right on board with him. Is he going to go into the box here just for half distance? No, he's not. I mean, while Cobra 75, is he going into the pits? Yes, he is. So Cobra has come in. Xciteracingleague 15 is also in the box. and Hammy Mansell too. So it's all stacking up in the pits here now. This could be interesting. Who's going to get released first? Because Hammy Mansell will be on the speed limit so next to Ace Killer 15. And I think we've got a battle here. Yes, Hammy Mansell is not too far behind. We've got a scrap all of a sudden. And Diogo Pinto has come out in all this as well. So we've suddenly got a 3-car scrap from absolutely nowhere. Hammy Mansell's called that pit stop absolutely beautifully. Because look how close he is to Ace Killer 15. He's absolutely eradicated that lead. And Ace Killer 15 now in real trouble. As Hammy Mansell pulls side by side. This is effectively for the lead here. Because both of these drivers are way out in front. And look at this. Hammy Mansell trying to muscle his way past Ace Killer 15. And he effects the pass but goes too deep. He's gone off the circuit into the gravel, and Diogo Pinto is going to pounce and take that position away from him. So Hammy Mansell makes the critical mistake, goes too deep, and finds himself off the circuit behind Diogo Pinto, who pitted a long time ago. By the looks of this, so Diogo Pinto now all of a sudden, oh, big mistake for Dio, completely makes a mess of that braking, trying to get a look at the inside of Ace Killer 15, and so much for getting into a great position to take the victory there after throwing it away in a careless move where he just got on the brakes far too late. Meanwhile, Dan RC 2010 has pulled off the circuit. Dan RC 2010 has spun it. I don't know what's happened there. He's lost it coming into the kink and he's facing the wrong way. And I think that's going to be a retirement because I can't see him getting that car moving here. There's no movement on that circuit. Dan RC 2010 in a dramatic collision with the wall. He was way in position to potentially take a huge advantage. And Skunky Puppy is coming through the carousel now. And it's pain for Dan RC 2010 because Dan RC 2010 is going to be passed by absolutely everybody. Absolutely crazy. Meanwhile, Glenn Alves is in the pits along with Football 676-1. Diogo Pinto, meanwhile, trying to get as close to the back of Hammy Mansell. He's got a bit too deep at turn 1 over the outside concrete rumble strip, and that's slowed him down at the back of Ace Killer 15. This is now a battle for the lead here. These three drivers are battling to take the top of the podium positions. Real opportunity here as we get into the second half of this race. Long time to go. Plenty of opportunity for these drivers to really make an impact here and take full advantage. Hammy Mansell once again going a bit too deep there, and that's causing a problem for him because now Diogo Pinto once again getting a good look up the inside of him, but he's just not quite close enough to make the attack. Unbelievably close stuff. Diogo Pinto closing up to the back of Hammy Mansell. So Hammy Mansell in danger here as Diogo Pinto clips the inside apex absolutely beautifully. Heading into the carousel. Real opportunity now as Diogo Pinto hugs the inside curb. Real chance to effect a pass here because Hammy Mansell's made a hash of that. Going a bit too wide. And Diogo Pinto now in a great slipstream opportunity. He might fancy his chances here. Down at the end of Sector 2 towards the inside curb. Indeed, he's pulled off the circuit. Great opportunity now. Diogo Pinto size past Hammy Mansell like he just was not there. Diogo Pinto takes second place. Excellent position here. Diogo Pinto's gone wide, he's made a critical mistake, and that's going to allow Hammy Mansell to get better momentum through the final turn, surely here. And Hammy Mansell now, I don't know if he's got a good line there at all. Went a bit too deep on the curb, and he's now not catching up to the back of Diogo Pinto surprisingly pulling away, despite that mistake that he made in the penultimate corner. Diogo Pinto comfortably into second place. Moving third back, Skunky Puppy in fifth place now. Football 676-1 has got Cobra 75 trying to pull away from Jamie F430. These guys still close together on the circuit. Fraser Potts down in ninth position, and then, yep, as I expected, we've had a retirement from Dan RC 2010. He's not made it to the end of the race, so we're only going to have 9. Oh, so much for that. I said we're only going to have 9 finishers, and then Jamie F430 goes straight on into the wall. Disaster for Jamie F430 there. He's lucky to have not taken any serious damage, and that's going to cause him problems. Meanwhile, Hammy Mansell, can he get close to the back of Diogo Pinto? Diogo Pinto doing a great job here at the moment. Actually started to pull away a little bit away from Hammy Mansell. And that's allowing him to start considering looking at the back of Ace Killer 15. 29 minutes left in this race. A long way to go. Anything can happen. Just look at Dan RC 2010. He thought he had it all his own way. and then lost it. Moving further up the field, you see that Ace Kill 15's already going into the final curve, about 3 or 4 seconds clear of Diogo Pinto. Then you got Harry Mansell in 3rd position. Moving back, you got Glenn Ells, and then behind him, Football 676 number 1, Cobra 75, and Jamie F430 coming out of the pits in 8th position. Lap down, and Fraser Pants has got 3 wheels on his wagon. Fraser Pants has a severe problem here. He's only got 3 wheels on his truck, and this is a serious issue. Is this going to be a complete retirement here? Let's ride on board with Fraser Pants. Is he going to be coming in to change tyres? Oh, he's been another lap put down on him here. He's in real trouble. And he's not going to make it. Fraser Pants has run out of momentum at the start of the pit lane. He has retired in dramatic fashion. So unbelievably, we're down to just 8 runners and riders. What did I tell you about anything happening here? It's one of those circuits that can break the mold. So you got Harry Mansell in 3rd position, then Diogo Pinto is 2nd. Unfortunately, the action on track has slowed down at the moment, hence the, I won't say dull, but we're into that lull in the middle of the race where everyone could take time, get a bit of the breath back a little bit, and see if it's possible to start thinking about strategies that might get them up the field by pure intellect alone. Diogo Pinto looks at the back of Ace Killer 15, and then you can see that Harry Mansell looking at the back of him, and these drivers all just trying to catch up to each other, stacking up a bit in many ways. Skarky Puppy's not too far adrift from Glenn Owls, and Glenn Owls is yet to pit, so that makes things a bit interesting. And Football 6761 is slowly catching up to the back of him too, but unfortunately we are at that mid-race lull where it's a question of who's got the intellect, who's going to get their tyres to last longest. We've got 25 minutes left here at this race at Urquhart Lake Road, America, live and exclusive on twitch.tv. Real opportunity now for these guys to get things moving, a real chance to get an opportunity by keeping that podium and getting themselves near the top of the points, getting some big chances to get themselves back into contention for the title. Glenn Owls has done well to be in 4th position despite the fact that his first race here for Xciteracingleague League. Then we've got Skanky Puppy in 5th position doing a decent job. It's damage limitation in many ways for Skanky Puppy because he's not taken to these Indy cars at all. Found it very difficult. Football 6761 is 6th place and Cobra 75 down in 7th place. Then at the back of the order, Jamie F430 trundling along, not really threatening the top pace, but he's doing what you need to do. He's getting close to finishing. Again, at the end of the day, as great Murray Walker once put it, to finish first you've got to finish. So for those of you out there who have actually not been watching, with Diogo Pinto once again in the pits. Now this is interesting. I didn't think I thought Diogo Pinto had already stopped, but he's back in the box again here, and this has now changed the game a bit because coming up the pit straight we've got Glenn Owls, and I think Glenn's going to do him. I think Glenn Owls is going to easily get past him here because Dio has not been released from his box. Diogo Pinto has only just been let go now, and actually Skanky Puppy might well put him under threat here. Well, this is potentially a very interesting indeed, because you can see a Skanky Puppy, we're looking at the inside, he's going to be looking out for Diogo Pinto. There he is. Diogo Pinto has lost out. Glenn Owls is in the box. Football 676-1 now, getting close to the back of Diogo Pinto. Dio's just going to take position over him, but Football 676-1 is going to have the momentum because he's on full power down the straight and full control of his car. He's also going to be on fresh, warm tyres that are at the maximum grip. Diogo Pinto getting a decent run in the first and second corners there, but Football 676-1 has broken free a little bit. So Jamie F430 at the back of the order, and Skanky Bubby in third position now. Javi Marcel is second at 8 kill 15, way out in front, doing a great dominant performance here. Diogo Pinto only got a couple of seconds on Football 676-1, so Football now fancies a chance. He has the almost Texaco Nigel Mansell IndyCar livery from 1995 at his disposal, going underneath the Corvette bridge, heading into Sector 2 towards the carousel. Football 676-1 really putting the hammer down as much as he can to get after Diogo Pinto and get what would be a huge scalp for him. Meanwhile, Glenn Alls, he's just leaving the pits now, so he's quite safely free of Jamie F430. So it's one of those positions now, and you can see Diogo Pinto in fourth position. That's the closest battle we've got on track at the moment, right on board with Football 676-1. Kissing that apex of the king absolutely beautifully. Heading into the final 20 minutes now. There's not long left of this race. These drivers don't have long to make an impression and get themselves to the maximum points here. But Jamie F430 at the back, he'll be disappointed to have not had any real pace here. Despite all the effort he's done in getting here to race, he's probably only going to get himself a couple of points. But at the end of the day, they all matter in the championship. Football 676-1, he'll be a little miffed to be down in fifth place. But Diogo Pinto is the one who'll be disappointed because he's qualified fourth and he's currently fourth. He's not really made much in the way of progress. He's been in the battles, he's been in the wars, went down the back of the field. I don't know if he's had to stop twice or if he's just found it difficult to keep the car on the island. But either way, Football 676-1, last lap out, 47.7 from him. 47.8, Diogo Pinto a 2-minute 8 because of the pit lanes. So it shows you the difference in powers. Now this is where we're going to see who's got the pace. You can see a best lap of 43.9 from Ace Killer 15. That's qualifying pace from him. Really fast performance. Getting able to dominate this track, dominate this field, get himself way out in front. As Football 676-1 starts to look at the back of Diogo Pinto, who's actually pulled out quite a big distance on that last lap. He was a full 0.7 of a second quicker. That's a lot of difference to make. Now, interestingly, Cobra 75 has started to close the gap, and he was 0.7 of a second quicker than Football 676-1. So I say we should ride on board here at the back of this order, because I get the feeling this is where we're going to see the next serious move, because there was a real opportunity here for Football 676-1 to get himself a good scalp, but now Cobra has started to reel him in. Cobra started to catch him up. Cobra 75 looks ahead, and you can see how close Football 676-1 is to him. He's not that far at all. Football 676-1 is not safe by any stretch of the imagination here. Going for the fastest lap times, you can see that Football 676-1 going to break the beast now, 47.4 versus a 46.2. 1.2 seconds quicker. Cobra 75 is on an absolute monstrous charge, and this is going to allow him to catch up to the back of Football 676-1. Oh, but look at this. Cobra 75 hit the outside curve, and that's robbed him of all his traction and all his glory, and that is pretty much that. Interestingly, Diogo Pinto only ended up 0.3 of a second quicker than Football 676-1. So evidently that lap, despite it initially was being very, very powerful, he lost a lot of time in the final sector. Now Football 676-1 will be encouraged by that, because that's where you get into the slipstream. That's where you get the chance to be able to follow someone closely and go for the pass down to turn 1. As Football 676-1 goes a bit too wide there, heading into the carousel as it compromises his lap and his grub bit. Now it's just been able to find the lap time there beautifully to get himself back in position. So Football 676-1 doing all you can to be able to really claw in, Diogo Pinto, and he'll be to upstage Diogo Pinto would be one hell of a result, because Dio is one of the more respected drivers. Don't forget though, Diogo Pinto has lost 50 points this season because he failed to take the formation lap and failed to pit, getting him disqualified from 2 races. Now we just heard a bit of pit radio there saying go, go, go. Who was in the pits? It's Javi Mansell. Javi Mansell is in the pits, and that's going to allow Skanky Puppy to leap ahead of Javi Mansell by the looks of things. This is going to be pretty close here, and Diogo Pinto is going to come out very close to as well. Javi Mansell's in serious trouble. Football 676-1, where does he come out in all of this? He's going to be right next to him at turn 1. I think Football 676-1 is going to just go around the outside. This is so close here. A real opportunist pass there. Javi Mansell down to 5th place. We've got 18 minutes left in this race. He'll be looking to pump in qualifying lap here as Javi Mansell gets deep into the toe of Football 676-1 going through turn 2, heading down towards turn 3. A real opportunity now, gets into the slipstream. Javi Mansell probably deploying all that curves he can, heading down towards turn 3. He likes this wider line, but he's also shown himself go a bit too deep. Has he done it again here? He's looking pretty ropey. No, he's just found the grip at the last time, and it was critical that he got past Football 676-1. He could ill afford to be held up by Football, who has shown decent pace, but he's not shown good pace, and that's one of the key critical differences when you come out of the pit. So Diogo Pinto back on the podium now, but heading into the carousel, Javi Mansell is not too far behind. Javi Mansell might fancy his chances of a scalp here as Diogo Pinto looks at the back of Skanky Puppy. Up ahead, meanwhile, it's plain sailing for Ace Killer 15, who is way clear. Right on the board with Football 676-1. He's not lost ground completely on the back of the beautiful, almost like day-glow gold IndyCar being piloted by Javi Mansell. Real opportunity now. So we've got a camera glitch here as Football 676-1 tries to get close to the back of Javi Mansell, but he's actually dropped away. Javi Mansell's applied a much better lap time there, despite the fact that he had the pit lane. He's just been able to find better pace. And Skanky Puppy now looks at the back of there's Diogo Pinto in 3rd place, trying to catch up to him. So we've got all the drivers spreading back out again. Sorry about this, we're just getting a few technical glitches on my computer. I'll be with you shortly. Moving back through the field, Football 676-1 trying to break clear of Cobra 75. Glenn Al's all the way down in 7th place now. Jamie F430, well, he'll be happy just to get some points, I think, because he's very far at the back of the field, very much on his own. So it's Football 676-1, and you got Javi Mansell in 4th place, snaking left and right once again. He's not too far adrift of Diogo Pinto. Now I'm going to be paying attention to the lap times here. Will Javi Mansell have enough in hand to catch up to Dio? Going over the start-finish line now, let's have a look at the lap times. A 1:47.0 versus a 46.1. And Skanky Puppy did a 48.0. I wouldn't count Javi Mansell out here. Javi Mansell, despite that pit stop, we've only got 15 minutes left in this race. He's got an opportunity here to get himself back to the top. Because Javi Mansell's really been delivering the performance tonight. Going through turn 2, heading out towards turn 3. Javi Mansell getting deep on the power, trying to attack as much as possible down towards turn 4. Through the kink, no major issues there. Can he get this car stopped in time? And can he gain any advantage on Diogo Pinto? Because Diogo Pinto didn't make any real mistakes there. Going through the end of Sector 1. You can see that Javi Mansell was actually a 10th down on Dio. Dio responded to that monstrous lap that we saw Javi Mansell do a moment ago. But it's early doors in this lap, yeah, and we've seen Diogo Pinto mysteriously lose time through the later sectors. Oh, but was that a mistake from Javi Mansell? Or was that lag? I don't know, because it seems to be snaking left and right, totally of its own volition. Javi Mansell heading in towards the kink. Getting a deep opportunity now, heading down towards the next. Oh! Whoa, Diogo Pinto! Diogo Pinto has dropped it and has got 3 wheels on his wagon. He's completely lost that car. He's totally dropped it out. And football 6 He's now all the way up the back of Cool 75. Where did this come from? What a mistake that was from Diogo Pinto. He's lost it out of absolutely nowhere and gone into the wall with 14 minutes left on the clock. He's got no wheels on his wagon, and that is very much the end of that. But football 67601 now right on the close back of Cobra 75. We've got another scrap on the cards here. What a development that was. Gets deep into the slipstream. Great opportunity heading towards turn 1 here. Football 67601. And you can see Dio's course he's got terminal damage. He's definitely out of this race. He has retired. He will be gutted about that with the pace of performance he's shown. So you can see now the football 67601 get a decent run through towards turn 5, but Cobra 75 has started to break away again. It just seems this pace between these two is like a bungee rope effect. One gets a little bit quicker and then suddenly they stretch back out again, just constantly dragging each other along for the ride. Down in 6th place, we've got Glenn Owls totally on his own. Cobra 75, Javi Mansell down in 3rd place. A Skunky Puppy is not too far away from him, actually. So again, Javi Mansell might well find himself getting onto one of the top parts of the podium here. But football 67601, all eyes on him at the moment. Gets towards the inside, real opportunity. Gets deep into the slipstream. Just a bit too far away to affect the pass. Moving up towards the top of the field here, and you see Javi Mansell not that far behind Skunky Puppy. Let's pay attention to the lap times here, because this will give us an indicator. We're coming into the final 10 minutes of this race, and it's not yet over. We saw that with Diogo Pinto. And again, look at that, nearly 2 seconds quicker. Javi Mansell is absolutely flying. Meanwhile, Ace Killer 15's done a 2-minute 1, which tells me he's been into the pits. But he's still absolutely miles clear of these two. But all eyes on Javi Mansell, because being 2 seconds quicker. That's a monumental overspeed from Javi Mansell. Javi Mansell really fancies his chances, but Skunky Puppy, even if he does get overhauled by Javi Mansell, will have managed to recover and get a 3rd position. A great opportunity for him to be able to take advantage here, heading towards turn 3 and 4. And you can see Skunky Puppy getting a slightly better line through there. The low speed, low grip corners seem to suit his style of driving, but the hair-raising, high-end twitchiness through the likes of the carousel down into sector 3 seems to be all Javi Mansell. Javi Mansell getting a decent run on the inside, really good effort here, heading into the carousel. Gets a decent run on the middle point, really good performance here. Just a bit too wide in the middle corner there. Javi Mansell may have lost half a tenth possibly, but at the same time, going to the split times again, you can see a 40.3 versus a 40 flat, 36.2 versus a 36.3. So Skunky Puppy has responded. Perhaps Skunky Puppy was just trying to save fuel and save his tyres. And now that Skunky Puppy started setting the record books alight in terms of pace, he decided to turn the wick up here. Let's ride on boards. Javi Mansell gets a decent run, heading towards the start-finish line. Skunky Puppy, a bit twitchy from Javi Mansell there. Again, how much of that is lag and how much of that is general pace, I don't know. But going through the final corner, Javi Mansell seems to give him a lot of power there into the final corner over the start-finish line. And Javi Mansell, a full second quicker as Skarky Puppy. Skarky Puppy in real trouble here as Hammy Mansell is all over him like a rash. There's only 9 minutes left, so we've got approximately 5 laps left between these drivers here. A real opportunity. Now Skarky Puppy is closer than he's ever been. Hammy Mansell's really got an opportunity now to get deep under the slipstream, get into the toe, and he's certainly using the power there. Look at the speed difference on that straight. That's very much similar to the 2015 Ferrari engine versus the 2016. And a big mistake there from the Skarky Puppy, going over the inside, taking out the bollard, but has just got away with it. Heading into the middle, real opportunity now for Hammy Mansell. Rides the inside curb absolutely beautifully. Heading into the carousel, going a bit too close to the inside, but no, he's just about got a grip there. Just about hung on. Looking at the split times once again, a difference of literally 3/10 through the first sector. But Hammy Mansell now really getting too close, and that's affecting his grip. He's losing the aero there, and that's costing him time. But Hammy Mansell looking at this, looking at the back of Skarky Puppy, thinking about a late move here, just too far behind to affect the pass, and he's gone too wide. He's almost gone into the wall there, but just about recovered it. I'm not quite sure how he did that, but he's managed to get away with it. And now Hammy Mansell is going to be odds-on favourite here to get a move done, especially with the way Skarky Puppy is taken out. Skarky was in the pits. Skarky Puppy is going back into the pits here, so Cobra 75 is going to get ahead of him. And the question is, will Football 676 number 1? No, Cobra 75 is coming into the pits as well. Well, this is a real opportunity. Can Football 676 number 1 stay out? Yes, he can. So Football 676 number 1 has got clear. Skarky Puppy and Cobra 75 both into the pits. Football 676 number 1, those, thank you very much. I'll happily take a podium finish from you guys. So, well, what a performance that was from nowhere, as Jamie F430 has been lapped once again by Ace Killer 15. Ace Killer 15 has had this race absolutely easy. He's had nothing to worry about during this race whatsoever. Skarky Puppy has come out pretty much on his own at the moment, so he's not really in any danger of being overtaken by Cobra 75. And behind them, interestingly, no, there's no battle there either, because Glenn Alves has got clean through. So all the drivers once again are into those kind of low positions right in the middle of the race, only we've only got 7 minutes left. So potentially a wind down finish here as Ace Killer 15 once again coming up the start finish line to go on to yet another lap. And this has been dominating performance. He's now in the 47s. He's not pushing too hard. He doesn't need to. He wants to just hang on and take this finish as much as possible. But it has to be said that this has been a serious effort. Really good attempt from Football 676 number 1 to get himself back into position to be on the podium. Skarky Puppy will be disappointed. He needs to make that last minute stop down in 4th position at the moment. Really lacking the ultimate top end pace. Hammy Mansell, meanwhile, gets a good run at the inside, going into turn 1. Is he going to make this work? Yes, he is. He's just about managed to get away with that. Goes a bit too deep, potentially, but he's just going to get away with it. Football 676 to 1 is into the pits. Oh, here we go. Football 676 to 1 has dived into the pits with 5 minutes to go. You get the feeling he should have just hung on there. Maybe he could have done, I don't know. But Skarky Puppy is easily going to get by him because we already know that he's in the pits there. No, the question is, what about Glenn Alves? Is Glenn Alves going to get by? Looks like it, because Football is only just leaving the pits now, so it's going to be quite tight. Well, I think Football is just going to be held up too long at the edge of the pit box here. Cobra 75, well, he's a bit too far behind, I believe, but then again, oh, no, speed limit has only just been released. This could be a battle here between Cobra 75 and between Football 676 to 1. You can see Football just going through turn 1 there. Cobra 75 just coming up to it now, so it's not quite close enough to be a battle, but there's still time. 5 minutes remain here. We're looking at 2.5 laps, and then that is going to be that. And what a race this has been. The drivers have really been battling hard There's been a depleted field, but that's not the point. These guys are put on the clinic as much as possible. And you said Glenn Alves, he'll be happy to take a decent push. Skunky Puppy might be feeling a bit lucky that he's going to be able to take over third place after what looked like it had been lost. It looked like he had missed out, but yet has got a chance. Heading into the carousel, Skunky Puppy getting a decent run at the inside there, real opportunity. And then Hammy Mansell. Wasn't Hammy Mansell's car, that was really weird. Well, that's just the cameras for you, unfortunately. So you can see Skunky Puppy in P3 doing all he can, and Ace Colour 15 dominating performance. Absolute dominance from Ace Colour. And he's definitely showing why he's the championship leader at the moment with this performance, because he's really taken the bull by the horns and said, this is my championship. Football 676-1 goes through to the end of sector 3. Real opportunity here, and now Glenn Owls doing a real getting closer to the back of Skunky Puppy. It's just not close enough. Oh, that's Jamie F430 who once again has come out of the pit. Skunky Puppy had to go around the outside to avoid clattering into the back of him. Well, Skunky Puppy wasn't doing any favours by his teammate there, but he's going to get away with that. I think Skunky will be happy because Diogo Pinto, with that critical error, has taken himself out of the game, and that's allowed Skunky Puppy to start pulling away here and get himself some key points. Hammy Mansell, he'll be happy to be on what looks like a second place, barring a catastrophic mistake. And Ace Killer 15 can pretty much afford to cruise. He does not need to push his car at all. But these guys do. Cobra 75 gets a slipstream on the back of Football 676-1. And that looks like it's going to be done and dusted. Well, Football 676-1, can he outbrake him into turn 3? No, he can't. I'm not sure what happened there, but Football 676-1 has lost out a critical time as we head through towards the end of this race. 2.5 minutes to go here at Urquhart Lake in Road America, live and exclusive on Twitch.tv. And you're heading through turn 6 there. You can see that Football 676-1 trying to attack as much as possible. But Football is just not able to get the traction and able to attack here. He's just struggling. Heading into the carousel. Real chance now for him to attack here. Football 676-1 doing all possible to get as close as he can to the back of the Cobra 75. But Cobra has really got the bit between his teeth and was a lot faster. He's gained about half a second already on this lap. Now, interestingly, look at this. Skunky Puppy is not too far ahead of Glenn Owls. There's a car between them, but that might just give Glenn Owls the toe he needs to close up. We're going to have time for one more lap from these guys. It's going to be almightily close to the top of the order. Football 676-1 meanwhile has lost out on Cobra. Cobra is going to be able to take this position now. It's probably going to be a little, being a day late, a dollar short here for Glenn Owls 81. And so Skunky Puppy has got his teammate almost being a rear gunner for him, and I get the feeling that Skunky is going to be hanging on. But hang on, where's Hammy Mansell? I don't know what's happened here, but Hammy Mansell is no longer in the race. Hammy Mansell is not going to get any points. Hammy Mansell is a dramatic last-minute retirement. Skunky Puppy, through pure attrition, is going to get second place here at Urquhart Lake in Road America. He will not believe his luck. That is unbelievable. Hammy Mansell, after all the battles, after all the overtakes, is going to find himself on 0 points, just like Diogo Pinto. A catastrophic mistake. Talk about commentators' curse. And once again, it just goes to show that the race is not over until the checkered flag flies. Speaking of that, Jamie F430 might fancy unlapping himself and his teammate here, as Skunky Puppy has got him all over his chuff. Skunky Puppy, is he going to let Jamie F430 through? Or is he going to... No, he's not. Because behind him, look at this. Glenn Owls is very close to the back of him. The blue flags came into play there. If Skunky Puppy had released the back of Jamie, he could have leapfrogged him again under the blue flags. But now Glenn Owls might fancy a last of the hurrah here to make a last-ditch overtake. Getting on the DR, getting on the curse. A real opportunity. Skunky Puppy under last seconds pressure. 10 seconds to go into the first corner, and then the second corner. Glenn Owls has got one opportunity, and Skunky Puppy gone wide. He's got a bit too deep there, but I think he's just going to hang on, and Glenn Owls has just been timed out. Cobra 75. Oh, Hammy Mansell saying he disconnected after saying he might have won it while he was a bit too far behind Ace Killer 15. Ace Killer 15 won by quite a long way as Jamie F430 decided to pull off onto the grass. For whatever reason, I don't know. Fraser Pants now is in the garage. Fraser Pants is not going to finish. So all of a sudden we've only got 6 classified finishers. Jamie F430, because he was lapped, is going to be classified, but Fraser Pants will not, because he's been out of this race for 16 laps. I didn't even see that happen. So Fraser Pants has had to give it up, but Football 67611, he'll be a bit disappointed to have come down in 5th place. Full credit to Cobra for that attempt. Glenn Alls will be happy with that podium as Skanky Puppy, through luck or through crook, he's managed to make it. Jamie F430, well, he's kind of broken my no profanity rules there with that one. He's simply summed up in one word there, viewers. Skanky Puppy in 2nd place, and Ace Killer 15 doing a bit of donuts on the start finish line, or at least he's trying to do so, but there's too little room here. He's not able to sit in the car. Give it up, it's a bad job. But Skanky Puppy, well, he'll be happy to have hung on. Absolutely beautiful. And well, viewers, it has to be said that that was one hell of a race. Interestingly, Glenn Alls has just come up as classified as 2nd place. Glenn Alls is showing on my screen as 2nd, not 3rd. Has Glenn Alls just stole a podium from Skanky Puppy, just like Football 67611 did last week in Dubai? I don't know what the hell has happened there, but either way, that is the result. And this has been Xciteracing League. Thank you all very much for watching. We'll be back next week, same time, 8:30, for a race at Sakito, aka Suzuka. I've been Pete Marcroft. You've all been great. Thank you very much for watching, and good night.